I'm here in Medjugorje and I'm with, what's your name?
Paul.
Where are you from, Paul?
I'm from Dublin.
From Dublin.
North side of Dublin.
Your first time here in
No,
Medjugorje?
I first came in 1996.
Wow.
And I've come every year since, although I couldn't come during the pandemic.
Why do you come all this time?
Why do I come? When I came first, I came, but I didn't tell anybody I was coming. And people say that when you come to Medjugorje, Our Lady calls you to Medjugorje to prepare you for something. And what answered my question on that was that my mother died the year after I came to Medjugorje. So what I found here was a profound but simple faith. And what we were being asked to do by our Blessed Mother and the Franciscans who look after the spiritual requirement of the people, what the meaning of Medjugorje. It was so simple. They talked about weekly Mass, the Sacrament of Reconciliation once a month, reading the Bible, fasting, and prayer with the heart, the Rosary. And for me, that reignited, I suppose, what I was taught as a child. So there was nothing new for me. So it simplified my faith for me, and I have used those 5 stones, as they're called, since then.
And it changed your life?
Pardon?
It changed your life?
It changed my life, yes. In a sense, no, I was always, a believer, but it gave me, in a sense, a natural structure to continue with my faith. So I didn't need to go off on any tangents. It's enough for me. It's all I can cope with, and I can develop that, and have developed all aspects of that since I've come here.
And did you receive special graces here in Medjugorje, any healing?
I suppose getting involved in the reading side of Medjugorje and going deeper into it, studying the visionaries, looking at the contribution of the Franciscans and seeing how hard they worked in providing what they do. It was a colossal job, particularly earlier on. I learned from it all, and it gave me probably a new foundation for me to work on and to continue on. So that's where I am at the moment.
And you pray the Rosary?
I pray the Rosary.
How is that for you? Why do you pray the Rosary?
Because we've been asked to pray the Rosary. I prayed the Apostolic Creed, that was the first Rosary Our Lady asked the visionaries to say, because she felt the ordinary Rosary was too much for them. So I pray the Rosary, and I also pray the Apostolic Rosary for the souls in purgatory and for the sick, which we were asked to do. So that's the basis of my prayer. Fasting, no, I find fasting difficult. I did try it initially. There was the fasting on Wednesdays and Fridays, but I tried to fast in a different way. I did ask Father Svet when he was here, a wonderful priest, a Franciscan priest, about fasting, and he replied. His reply amazed me in the sense that he said, if you can give time to prayer, that in effect is fasting because you're not doing other things, and that stuck with me, and it's I suppose my way of fasting.
And what would you tell somebody who doesn't believe in God? What is God Father for you? God the Father, what does it represent for you?
God the Father, I look at God as sort of a friend more so than a father. I know He's there. I suppose Jesus and God are one, and I look at the way Jesus lived through reading the scriptures and what He did, and the stance He took in His own life, what happened to Him, and if anything, if you're confronted with any disagreements, etc., etc., I fall back on the way He lived His life, and that's what it means to me.
And what would you tell people? Why should they come to Medjugorje? What is so special about this place?
For me, the miracle of Medjugorje is the people I see here, particularly in the church, on the mountains, and at the evening program at the back of the church. It fascinates me to see people from all over the world, both young and old, all here for the same reason, I presume, and all praying. Seeing the new religious communities who come in little groups, you can identify them by what they're wearing. So for me, there are new communities emerging all over the world, but in our own country, we don't get a chance to see that. So I find that quite inspiring. The church is living. I see a living church here, and I also think that there's probably no reason why the churches at home and around the world can't adopt what has been a wonderful success here. It's very different to Lourdes and very different to Fatima and Knock. This provides for me a living church, and it provides the meaning of a living church. It's not complicated, it is too simple, and I think we complicate what the church should be. So for me, this is the ideal church.
Thank you for this beautiful interview.
Well,